The act again further defines what institutional houses is. And institutional houses are houses that are for civil servants, police, and student accommodation. And here now comes another big challenge that we have in our country. The student enrollment by 2023 in our universities was 462,000. For TTI, TVCs, the student enrollment is approximately 408,000, meaning almost close to 1 million students we have in our universities. But again, these are some of the challenges that we need now to surmount, because approximately only 10% of the students are accommodated in the universities. And I'll give an example of the University of Nairobi. It has an enrollment of 50,000 students. And the number of students that are there today being accommodated in the school are only 10,000. When I passed through Hall 11, where I used to live when I was in the university in 524, I always check, and I have never seen any other hostel built almost 25 years down the line. And at that time, we were only 15,000. And this complicates the parents and the student together. When we went to get the opinions of the people on the affordable housing law, parents told us, we will support this law if only you help our students get accommodation. We are paying too much money, and this is draining our pockets. And when we took it to Parliament, they accepted, and today we have a plan to build student hostels through this fund. So, as part of our program today, we have over 300 applications from the universities, and we have shortlisted, tried to work out a program for TTI. On our phase 1 of the project, we are starting with 181 TTI, TVCs, and KMTCs spread across the country. And we are also working on 50 universities. All of these, we cumulatively, in this financial year, once we start the projects, because we have put this budget, we are going to start construction of approximately 150 beds for students. And why the interest in student accommodation? Universities worldwide do have exchange programs with foreign universities in order to build the intellect and development of education. Students require an environment that will enable them develop their intellectual capabilities. But a student living in the slum, Babati structure, struggles to feed. I've heard you say Kuinama. Luckily enough, today I've learned Kuinama. It's just today to get to the lunch pass. Am I right? So, if the students are taken back to the university, they will save, or the parents will save that money, and the student will have some money to take care of his personal needs, his or her personal needs. So, for the program to be sustainable, the universities will have to pay back to the Affordable Housing Fund the amount of money that was used to construct. but over a long period of time. Meaning, when it is spread to that years, the student will be paying an affordable amount, which will be decided by the university and yourself, your student leaders. You know what will be affordable for you. That decision will be made by yourselves. And limit that money. Once the money is limited back, it creates a sustainable fund that will keep on developing more affordable hostels until this shortage is overcome. That is not the only part that the affordable housing is dealing with. The affordable housing also deals with social and physical infra. So once we go to build the student hostel, we are not going to build only the hostel. It will be accompanied by other social facilities, such as playgrounds, social hall like where we are. And this will also enable the students to develop further. When you go to housing, similarly the same. Adequate housing does not mean only a house. It means houses with other facilities, including play areas, markets, shopping center, so that we make our cities sustainable by other social facilities. And our cities, such as we have people to celebrate social hall like where we are celebrating cities, or what we call, and this will also enable the students to develop further. That is the ideal. Go to housing, similarly the same. And we are making it a reality, because adequate housing does not mean we have a house. Over 124 houses going on under construction with other facilities. By close of the year, including we start handing over these houses. Markets in Nairobi Center will be handing over, so that we make by December our cities sustainable over 1,000, and our cities in Mukulu, such as we have in Eldoret, we have over 5,000 houses in cities. You'll be handing over. We are pushing the construction to finish. Enable the student project of 220. That is the ideal. Go to housing, similarly the same. We are making it a reality, because adequate housing does not mean here in now lies 100 million benefit houses going on under construction with affordable housing, with other facilities. By close of the year, including play areas, the construction industry has a very long value in Nairobi Center. We'll be handing over, so that we make by December not only over 1,000. And our cities, which is factories to produce in Eldoret, we have over 5,000 factories that have demand for coal. We are pushing. They have to increase their capacity to produce, and they have to create more people for employment. And it goes on and on. Doors, windows, hedges, all the components and elements that go to a building is quite enormous. And beyond that, we are working with the TVETs and other institutions to give students practical experiences when they are learning, particularly those who are in the built environment. And we give them internships. We are learning a program of 4,000 internships to students every year. And that is our intention. And when students want to go for practical lessons, we take them to our sites. And this is a program we are working with the universities, with your lecturers, and with the ministry responsible for higher education. Let me go to another point. And this point is how you can access the houses, because we are just about to hand over. The program further has a platform called Boma Yangu. The Boma Yangu platform is to minimize to the very minimal human interaction with people who, or with citizens who want to buy a house. You only need to be 18 years and you have an ID. You take your phone, *832#, and you start your home ownership journey. You'll be required a 10% deposit, and if you cannot be able to raise the 10% deposit, we have the housing board which can be able to facilitate you get a loan to get your 10% deposit. We have various typologies, fit to the pocket, from people who earn below 50,000 Kenya shillings. They have a house below 1 million across the country. It doesn't matter where you are. The house, you can get it by long-term loans, by cash, or by various installments. The long-term loan is called tenant purchase scheme. The TPS will enable you to pay around 3,200 every month, and the house becomes yours. It also has houses for middle class. The middle class earning 100,000, and for the higher income earning over 100,000. This is because the levy of 1.5% to the income of the citizens or their salaries, and the income of 1.5% from the employer spreads across all incomes. So basically, for equitable, we have to spread it to every citizen have an equal chance of getting this house. And for the young people, immediately you finish your school, you get a job, start saving. You can encourage your parents. Maybe you are living here. Maybe you don't have an opportunity to get a hostel in the school. If you don't, you can encourage your parents to pay into the affordable housing scheme, and you can move into that house immediately. You have saved enough to join the house. You select your unit where you want it through the online platform I have mentioned, and you can live in that house as you are a student and paying monthly installments. The lucky thing, maybe after your school, or maybe you are working here and you have been transferred maybe to Nairobi, you don't know where to take your house. That has always been the question in many people's mind. Now, I've gotten a house. I want to go to Nakuru or to go to Nairobi. Don't worry. You plan your journey to Nairobi, find an equivalent house of the same price, select the house in Eldoret, and take the new house in Nairobi, wherever you are, or wherever you want to go. Meaning, in simpler terms, it's like you are putting your house into a low loader. You transport it through Nakuru to Nairobi. It's possible. Then, you started as a young family. You are single. Now, you have gone loud and loud. You've gotten a nice boy, young man. You have children. You have more money again because you are also growing. Because life is just about growth. You don't want to be the same static level. So how do I deal with this house? Now that I have a single room, it has a toilet, yes, it has water, but come on. Now I have a family. I don't want my child to be seeing me and my wife where we are living. And I have money. I want to enlarge my house. So this now becomes more easier because, again, you get a more expensive house. Wherever you want to change the estate, you identify another house. The amount of money you have paid will be deposited to the new house. You surrender the other house, and then you move to the other better house. And that is the essence of the affordable housing program. It is real. That's what has been happening in other countries. People don't care about buying plots And once you finish your house, we have the Sectional Property Act, which was enacted sometimes years back and enables people to own a part of the building, and you'll be issued with a title once you finish payment. If you don't want to take the 30 years period, you can pay as and when you have the money, but you take a longer period so that you can, if things go bad, you can be able to pay incrementally. So let me stop there.
Thank you.
And hope that I have answered most of the questions that you'd want. We have one point this point is good, I should not have forgotten. The program is also working towards moving the Juakali sector. Not from Juakali, we cannot stay in Juakali all the years. We have set aside some of these elements in the affordable housing program or in the construction industry. All of them we have set and link-fenced in the current project that we are having, 4.4 billion worth of elements that the Juakali people can supply directly to the affordable housing. It's no longer that you'll be making one door, two doors. We are working with the Juakali sector, with the banks. We work together. They get tenders directly to supply doors. And we have cases where Juakali people have supplied doors and windows worth 100 million. People who just used to work only 10,000, 20,000 on a day or a month, but now they have sustainable supply of door and windows. And we have put them all, the Juakali, together, and we are working with the ministry in charge of micro and small enterprises in order to ensure that this work is directly given to the Juakali and micro and small enterprises so that they can move to cottage industries. Let me say, most of the products that we find here, like tiles, like hedges, some of them are imported, and it is a pity for a country of 50 million people, which is moving to be developed. It is importing hedges. And we are importing them in India and China. In India, they are normally made by cottage industry. They are made from the house, packed in trolleys and brought here. We are not going to no longer be the market, or we create jobs for other people outside the country. We will create our jobs locally here, and that is what our president wants, and I believe that is what you in class you want to do once you leave the school. Thank you.
Thank you. Please clap for James Minor. For those who might actually have missed the gist of his last submission, he said that the affordable housing project is about three things. Thing one, jobs. Thing two, jobs. Thing three, jobs. Now, moving on quickly, we have got Joshua Rapsang with us here. He's from the Office of the Government Spokesperson. So quickly, because we're going to the top of the hour, I'd love to remind you that the people you are talking to largely, except the SG who is here and the treasurer and a few other people here, most of these guys are Gen Zs. Now, Gen Zs are natives, digital natives. They were born in. Unlike you and I, who are millennials, and we grew through the revolution, these ones are digital natives. So I'd like you to start from this point. Number one, this digital economy, what the government is doing about it. And number two, as you finish on your submission in a minute or three, also tell us what the government spokesperson does, the Office of the Government Spokesperson does. Some of them are very good spokespersons here. Na mara mingi wao wanatulazimisha wanataka microphone waongee kwa bidii sana. We would love to have such like government spokesmen in future. So just quickly, and then so that then we run without a little bit of interruptions. After you are done, I'll bring in Professor Machuki, please. In just 3 minutes, you talk about SHIF and SHA, and then we will go and pick questions. Doris, you will prepare to tell us about the issues you want as a young woman in leadership. What are the areas you want to be helped in to help your leadership journey? Director Faith Nora, you tell us about how to access youth fund. I'm talking about as you respond to questions, have that at the back end. Then we will come back, of course, to James Maina later on, responding to your questions. So once he's done, Professor Machuki, and then we pick questions. I've taken time to remind you that way, and I need to tell you this. I tell audiences every time that when Professor Machuki spoke about funding, it's about you paying fees, right? Si unajua kulipa karo? Hello? Si unajua kulipa karo? So if you don't pay attention, even if you pay fees, you don't pass your exams. I say that because we are going to open up this session and you will be asking questions. If you don't pay attention, you will be asking questions that they've responded to. So write your question, think through, listen, and prepare so that then you don't go back to what they've already spoken. Karibu Joshua. And then the other microphones can start. We can have ushers prepping and being ready.
Thank you very much, Maliba. Comrade Power, for hosting us here. I'm happy to see the young people in this hall. Thank you, SG, and Treasurer for bringing them here. As you have heard, my name is Joshua Rapsang. I'm the Director of Public Communication at the Office of the Government Spokesperson, which is in the Office of the Executive, which is in the Executive Office of the President. So our government is so mindful about the youth of this country. As Maliba said, yes, we are all gone into a digital way. As I can see, I've been seeing here when we were singing and the rest, everybody was on phone, at least taking something. I don't know if it is TikTok and the rest. That means a lot that we are on that digital way. The government is doing a lot in that line. Every constituency, as we talk, around 274, almost all, but now 274 already have digital hubs. These are places where youths, Gen Zs, students, even people who are just at home and you wish to do something online, you just visit that center, do your work there. There is free internet, computers there, do your job, go home, and like now in issues of health, as somebody will talk about it, you can go to some of those places and register because these are in our constituencies and they are for us. Jitume hubs and Ajira centers, which are mostly now domiciled in most of the colleges in Kenya. As an Office of Government Spokesperson, we have been visiting most of them. We were in Harvest in March, and I can assure you, your colleagues are earning a lot of money working online while studying. People are earning dollars. Some of them have said they have even paid their rent. They are not now requiring money from their parents. Somebody is saying how? Just go to Jitume Center, they are there. Free computers, free internet. What you need to go, just get there and register yourself. Surely you will get the online jobs. You have seen our president traversing the whole world, trying to get jobs for you people. Some of those jobs are online jobs. And I can assure you, yes, I saw a guy who says he has started even poultry farm at home, still studying, but he has a poultry farm coming from the earning